launched 2009, people were getting the idea that the repertoire they were going to see was going to be a little bit offbeat, just a little bit. Including, though, some standard pieces. But standard in the sense that they sat left or right of the top 10. So we began with Bluebeard's Castle and Carmina Burana. And then we launched into the year, beginning with Giovanni at the National Theatre. And I shared that production with Nicholas Carter. So by now, our DAPs, our young artists, were on stage. Sammy Dundas made his debut as Don Giovanni. A lot of people criticised me for that, giving this major role to a young boy. And my view is, and will always be, you have to trust them. You've got to test them and trust them. And unless you're taking risks with performers, calculated risks, the company's never going to grow. Now, Sammy's now working at Opera Australia. He's a baritone within the company, part of the ensemble. That would not have happened had he not sung Giovanni. Then we did Rembrandt's Wife, another commission, Andrew Ford and Sue Smith, directed by Talia Maisel, who is becoming a stalwart of the company. And again, Jackie had a huge success. Jackie Porter sang that role of Giacha Dix really well. Roxanne Hislop, Gary Rowley was the Rembrandt. Paul Biancourt was the sort of every other part. So we were starting to build an ensemble with local singers, Victorian singers, and that was also part of the charter because the government was very concerned that I would fly in people from Europe and England and America and all parts of the world and not use Victorians. So I believe I have been absolutely faithful to that part of the charter. I've used as many Victorians as possible, not because they're Victorian, because that's parochial, but because they're good. So the Giovanni, I think, worked. And then we did the Rembrandt's Wife, as I said, then Ariadne off Naxos, the Strauss, which was fantastic. James McCaughey directed it. Liz Stannard sang the Ariadne, but my favourite part were the four boys who played the Commedia dell'arte characters. So I adored that production, and I would do Ariadne every other night. Then we had our youth opera, which was The Little Sweep. And there we had a guest conductor, Sammy Nestor, come in to do some guest conducting. He's now working in the USA. And that was a very young youth opera. It was like a new group of youth opera kids. So the youth opera was coming into its second iteration, if you like. Xerxes took place in the Recital Centre. It was the first opera we did there. That again, it seems I've had endless controversy here, but it's good. Everyone was concerned that I'd cast a countertenor, Toby Cole, in the role of Xerxes. Because for the last 100 years, it's been sung by a mezzo as a pants role. Now, Xerxes is all male, and it handles comedy, I suppose. It's not hold onto your stomach and fall on the floor laughing, but it is funny. And people said, oh, you're sure you want to cast? Oh, you're sure you want to do that? Oh. So the more they asked me was I sure, the surer I became. And even Toby for a minute thought, oh, maybe. But then Toby had a huge success with Xerxes. And we did that in collaboration with New Zealand Opera. So now the other part of the company's work, collaboration, was starting to, so we worked with Malthouse, we worked with West Australia in Brisbane, and now we're working with New Zealand Opera. Collaboration becomes a big part of our work.